Ladies and gentlemen, let's not do anything at all until the doctor gets here. For this is a Fulya Productions podcast.
Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Anything.
Anything. Nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
Don't even
Zero.
blink. Don't even blink.
Ooh.
I just caught myself out on that reference.
Yeah. Cue the music.
I don't know what we're yelling about! We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Conversation anyway.
Look, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello.
Hello.
I'm a Kendall Richardson.
And I'm in the void that it is beige, Michael Lister.
And you are now experiencing a podcast called Friends.
Experiencing it through the mediums of 2 hosts, not 3, because one's overseas. Hopefully to come back in one piece.
Yes, hopefully. Yes, of course, Fulya is currently in the US of A on a little trip.
What a time to go!
What a time! What a time indeed, Mike. What a time indeed to be in that country. But we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that.
But we did message her some nice messages.
Some nice messages. Some condolences.
Yeah. As soon as Pennsylvania fell, I said, "Get home. Get home now.
Get to the chopper. Get on the plane."
Just like the ending of the Simpsons episode.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Anyway, she's okay. Everyone.
That we know of.
That we know of. But she left us a massive bit of notes and a bit of a list of things she's been watching, it seems. So I'm really excited to hear what Fulya has to say. So let's dive in to the show with the weekly watchings. Fulya says, "Hello from sunny California." Oh,
California.
California.
The Californians.
The California.
What are you doing here?
Start?
Start?
Fucking best.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Fulya. She says, "I've been traveling around the US since the last episode of this podcast, and I'm on the last leg of my trip. You'd think with all the touristy things I've been doing, I wouldn't have had the time to watch anything. Well, think again. I've had the chance to watch quite a bit on my flights. There have been many." She says in parentheses. So I'm just going to list them off for you. Okay, this is Fulya's list. She watched the Garfield movie, She watched Despicable Me 4. She watched Wonka, Gran Turismo, If, which is the Imaginary Friends movie. In brackets here, she says, I cried. Very good. Didn't outstay its welcome. Nice. And then she watched all of the first season of the Frasier reboot series. I mean, probably the only advantage of such a long flight from here to there is the time you have to watch things. And then she goes on and says, I've also been watching some stuff on Netflix during my downtime in the hotel, including Kung Fu Panda 4, My Happy Marriage Season 1, which is an anime, and Delicious in Dungeons Season 1, anime. She started today. Nice. I've been meaning to watch that, actually. Surprise, surprise, Fulya.
I've heard good things.
I've heard good things also, yes. That's it from me. I'll be back for next week's episode, and I'll give you the rundown on my trip then. Yay! Bedtime for me now. I need to be up early for rope drop at Disneyland in the morning. Oh,
You're dropping some rope.
Drop means. Dropping some rope. What is... Google it. What is
rope
drop?
Please put the safety
Disney on. Safe search. Safe search on. Oh, okay. Oh, rope drop basically refers to how you start your day at a theme park. Okay, so it's basically she's going to be there from the minute it opens.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can attempt to go on everything.
Get on everything
Makes
and do
sense.
everything. That's very, very exciting for you. Well, we hope you're having a good night's sleep currently and enjoy your time at Disneyland, and we look forward to hearing about it next week.
Disneyland.
In detail. I want to ask her what she thought of some of those things, like if the Frasier reboot lives up to the original, and what she thought of Gran Turismo, and that might be it. But that's fine.
Yes.
Any and other and all thoughts. Great, thank you, Fulya. Mike, what have
Yes.
you been watching the past little while we haven't podcasted?
All that I could remember. Well, I started watching a TV show that I've been meaning to watch because the second season comes out. I've been watching League of Legends.
Arcane.
Arcane,
You mean
yes,
Arcane?
yes.
Yes.
Based on
I
the
almost...
based on the well-known League of Legends
Yes.
game
Mhm.
called The League.
The League.
Yes, because hearing lots of good things, and it's been on the back burner for ages, ever since it came out, like 3 years ago or something like that. And yes, the hype is justified. It is good. It is stunning to witness.
Yep.
And the story is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had it's one of those where my wife was concerned when I came out of the office. It's like I'm just bawling my eyes out after watching episode 3, and it's like, what's wrong? It's a TV show. It's like, why? It's like, yes, yeah. I wasn't expecting like something like this, really, like to have such a compelling story, because I know nothing about the League of Legends. I just know it's a thing that people play. It's a bit like World of Warcraft, basically. I know very little of that, but I know that more than League of Legends. And yeah, apparently it's its own story, I guess. I don't know what it is to canon. I don't think it takes a lot of liberties, which is good, because it's very enthralling and something really good about, class system in a fictional world, and just fantasy wrapped in science fiction, steampunky magic. It's something that I haven't really dived into, and yeah, just the story between these two sisters definitely is compelling, and definitely interesting watching as someone who's watching a little girl grow up and how they're dealing with the world, and you want to protect them and all that, and just watching these kids grow up because there's a time jump, and yeah. Yeah, Jinx is a really compelling character that I'm sort of holding close dearly, and I'm up to the last episode. I just finished it before we started recording.
Oh, great.
And yeah, so and it'll be all ready for the second season when I finally watch it, because it's already out. So no spoilers for me, please. I don't know what's going to happen. So no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it brief. I'm just going to talk about two things, and Arcane is very good and up there, and I just want to spend another week on it, and because everything else has stopped, so I didn't watch anything else. But a TV show that's finished up, and I know you want to talk about it as well, is The Penguin.
I haven't finished it.
You haven't finished it? Okay.
No, I haven't had time to watch the last 2 episodes, so I've seen nothing, but I hear it's incredible.
Yes, it's a very well put together series, because didn't know where it was going to be, or even if it was going to fit into the Matt Reeves-verse of Batman. Yeah, so I'm not going to spoil anything about it, but it's definitely a wild ride. And I never expected me to enjoy something that's so a character that's so dismal and just bad, just absolutely bad, but it's really compelling storytelling. I do dabble within the Soprano sort of Breaking Bad sort of seeing these characters lead interesting lives, bad quote unquote lives, and diving headfirst into evil territory. I think you're in for a treat, and that treat is a Sour Patch Kid. Or whatever a Warhead, that's it. I know lollies and stuff. So, yeah, I can't really say much because you haven't seen it. But
Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, that's basically it that I can remember. Otherwise, it's just news coverage and that's it. But who cares about that? Who cares?
Yes, we don't care.
Yeah. No,
We're not going to acknowledge. Well, we care, but
we care.
We do care.
Yeah.
We do care. Just
organize
the escapism.
Yeah, just organize at the local level, and you'll be right. And I'll be going nuts next year because we'll have our own election. And the way things are going, it's going to be interesting. And
it's going to be very interesting.
Oh
boy.
So hard being woke. Anyway, do you find it hard being woke, Kendall?
That's so hard. Just the most difficult thing.
Yeah.
So
what have you been watching?
What have I been watching? Well, a lot of things. Yeah, sadly, I've had no time for Penguin, which I'm devo about, but that's
no time for penguins.
No time for Penguin. That's going to be my night tomorrow night. However, I did have time to finally finish season 3 of The Legend of Vox Machina.
Oh yes, I knew there's supposed to be a fortnight sort of brain fog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the end of it.
Yeah, I've almost forgot to put it in my list. Yeah, fuck man. This show is so good. I really loved how everything kind of came together, and I loved Keela's storyline this season so much. She's probably my favorite character the whole season, I think, which just for the journey she went on from, it wasn't even much of a journey, but it was more about like, well, coming into her own as, you know, I forget the thing that she is, but anyway, you know, embracing her power and her abilities, but then also the team recognizing that in her, and knowing to kind of trust her and all of that. That is really cool. But yeah, and I'm not even mad that they undid a certain character's demise, because when it happened, I was crying all over again. So I'm just like, well, the emotional gut punch worked both times. So yeah, and I feel like there's definitely going to be consequences for that. That was epic. Epic. The whole This is it's such a good show. I'm so glad, but I don't know when the next season, because they only just got renewed for season 4, so it'll probably be end of next year, maybe at the earliest, depending on how long animation takes. But yeah, it'll be worth the wait. Yeah, fantastic stuff. What else? Other shows I've watched. What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, started.
Finally. Yes, finally started. I thought I was going to be able to watch the new episode that dropped, but it doesn't come out here in Oz until 9 p.m. tonight, so I'll be able to watch it when we finish the podcast.
Yeah.
But that being said, I've seen all the other episodes, and yeah, it's an interesting season so far. That, you know, the dynamics are a little different with Guillermo not being Nandor's familiar this time around, but he's still around, you know.
Still hanging around.
He's still hanging around. Yeah, but it's been pretty funny. Like, it's definitely I know I'm waiting for a moment of just out and out, like, uproarious laughter. There's been like lots of really great little comedic bits and moments and stuff. Like them going to work on Wall Street was pretty hysterical. And I liked that in the most recent episode last week, Nandor pointed out, you've basically swapped one master for another, and I could see that. You know, you could see that already, but I kind of liked Nandor's commitment to being a janitor and how seriously he took it, even though he was not not doing it right at all. But yeah, it's good. It's good. It's just a great show anyway. I just enjoy living in that world and watching that, and yeah, getting towards the end of the whole thing. So it sucks, but that's okay. What else could I mention? I think I'll probably just mention one more thing, just so the podcast doesn't go on too long. I saw Venom: The Last Dance.
Oh yeah.
Yes. It was okay. Yeah, it was fine. It didn't really. I don't know. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was, but the first Venom film is still the best one, and even then, it's not very much not a perfect movie. The first Venom, but I don't know. It was fine. Like, if you enjoy what they do with Tom Hardy and Venom, and their kind of weird bromance between, you know, with just Tom Hardy talking to himself, then you'll enjoy that. But I don't know. I feel like the movie felt a little undercooked to me. Like, they didn't do enough with Null. They introduced Null, who's the creator of the symbiotes, and they didn't really do anything with him. And it looked like they're setting up another sequel, but it's called The Last Dance, and I don't know what's happening. Yeah, anyway, maybe they'll make a fourth one. Who knows? I think for me, the best part of the movie was seeing Reese Ifans, however you say his name, apologies. Reese Ifans being this hilarious Area 51 truther hippie dad who's taken his family on a road trip to see Area 51 before it's decommissioned.
So not the lizard.
He's not the lizard. No, people were speculating. Oh, is he playing the lizard? No.
Like, no.
This is not. We do get to see at the start of the movie Eddie Brock going from the MCU back into the Sonyverse, but they pretty much clean that up immediately. There's no payoff whatsoever. Yeah, but yeah, I liked the interactions with the family, and there's one scene in particular. Mike, have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I have seen it. I mentioned it briefly, And I
Yeah.
didn't want to talk about it because what's the point?
Well, yeah, because there's nothing really much to discuss. Like, I feel like it was a non-event of a film. Like, I enjoyed the one scene I enjoyed the most was watching them in the van, and they're singing David Bowie, and then Tom Hardy's just like, "Get me the fuck out of here." Like, that was pretty funny. But apart from that, yeah, I don't know what the point of the movie was.
Yeah, and you can sort of
So-
tell it was filmed in England
England, yeah.
because all the essential characters are British people doing American accents.
Yeah. This is true. Most of the cast is British pretending to be Americans, so that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Venom, the last.
Well done.
Well done. We've got one more Sony versus Marvel movie coming out this year. Craven comes out next month.
Are you excited?
I am actually only so I can thirst over Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's the only thing I'm excited about. Is just seeing him. But the movie's not going to be good, so it's.
Yeah, it's not going to be
But hey.
kick-ass.
But no. But hey, in a year where Madam Web came out, which I can't believe is the same year, the chances are this movie won't be as bad as that one. So who knows?
Yeah, but how long has it been since its inception? It's like 3 years or something.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
The Sonyverse needs to die anyway.
Captain America 4 was sort of the same, so. But we'll talk about that.
Very soon.
Yes.
Yes. All right. But before we get to that, that's the weekly watchings, which means now we're going to head into the nerdy news.
The nerdy news. I need to set up the thing. Whoa, where is it? There it is.
This is the news, the nerdy news. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostest, Kendall Richardson. Take it away, Kendall.
Okay. Yeah, so a lot happened while we've been away the last couple of weeks. And, some of that we're gonna talk about now. That's pretty sad. But there's some notable people that we need to pay our respects to. The first off being I'm going to mention the great legend that is Quincy Jones passed away at the age of 91. Yeah. If you don't know him by name, I'd be surprised if you didn't. But if you don't know him by name, you'll know him by a lot of the music that he's done and a lot of the things that he's given us. Most namely and more importantly, especially in relation to myself, my life would be very different if Quincy Jones didn't exist, because he produced 3 of Michael Jackson's best-selling albums, Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad. Thriller is still the greatest selling album of all time. And him and Michael co-produced that one. I think they co-produced Bad as well. But anyway, I digress. Quincy Jones was a musical genius, to say the least. He worked with Frank Sinatra back in the day and a bunch of those old, crooners from that era, doing lots of beautiful, symphonic pieces and big band stuff. And he had his own music and albums that he would put out. But he made most of his career on producing incredible music, and he worked with so many other artists as well. And and worked with Will Smith on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was a producer on that show as well. And apparently he was responsible for getting Whoopi Goldberg cast in The Color Purple back in the day, which I read. I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool. No, not Whoopi Goldberg, sorry. Oprah Winfrey. Ignore me. Yeah. Anyway, and I just, just was starting to feel like Quincy was just going to be here forever because, you know, he's been around forever. I mean, 91 is an incredible innings. So yeah, just very, very sad that he's left us. But yeah, his name is never going to ever be forgotten. That's for sure. Mike, did you have any thoughts on Quincy Jones? Has he ever like touched any kind of facet of your life, your listening life, I suppose?
Well, mostly for the listening. But the first time I saw him was in Austin Powers Goldmember.
Yeah.
It's like, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Quincy Jones. So that was exciting. It was like, look back behind the scenes, but in front of the scenes as well. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, he's very cool. He will be missed quite a bit. The next person we're going to mention is also going to be missed quite a lot. And kind of just freaky for me because I literally only just watched Young Frankenstein. Like the like a couple of weeks ago. But of course, the immensely talented Terry Garr passed away. And you know, I've seen Tootsie. I don't remember her in Tootsie, which sounds terrible because I've only seen Tootsie once, and it was so long ago. But she's in that. She's most known for that, and of course, she's most known for Young Frankenstein, amongst many other comedic roles over the years. To see how many people were paying tribute to her at her passing on social media was like, wow. Like I was just like, oh my god, like she's clearly made an impact on the world of film and the world of comedy, and yeah, by all accounts she was a wonderful lady. So very, very sad that she's passed away at the age of 79. Mike, do you have any thoughts on the wonderful Terry Garr?
Yeah. Would you like a roll in the air? Always good. Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, she's done a lot of voiceover acting as well. Like she was in King of the Hill and Batman Beyond, basically, as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Mary McGuinness. So, yeah, she is mostly known as a television actor, doing all that, and just sometimes doing movies as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's one of those things that she's constantly on TV, so people would know who she is. Just having a quick look in the IMDb in Frasier as well. Yeah. I think I saw she was in Star Trek, like maybe probably Next Gen. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, There you go. She was in Mr. Mum.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
So a character actor, so not necessarily big name star, just constantly working and just there. Yeah,
always there.
Always going to be missed.
Yeah, definitely she will be. And then the last person we're going to pay tribute to is, of course, just this weekend we lost the great Tony Todd. If you don't recognize his name, you probably haven't seen many horror movies, because he was prolific in the genre of horror. Of course, most famous for his role as the titular Candyman in
Don't
the
say it 3 times.
series. Don't say it 3 times. Oh no. He was even in the remake/reboot that they did a couple of years ago now, as well. And for me, I mostly know him from the Final Destination movies.
That's right.
He plays an undertaker by the name of Mr. Bloodworth, which is just a great name. And some people like to think he's like the representation of death, like the manifestation of death in the series as in a human form. I'm neither here nor there on that theory. I mean, it's cool. But like he comes in, especially in the first movie, he just comes in and he is so extra. And there's these two fucking like, you know, young adult teenage actors he's reading to, and he's just going straight for the jugular on these lines about, you know, death comes for us all, and you know where everything's mapped out and leads to the grave, and it's just like amazing. He was iconic. Like his voice is so recognizable and just creepy, and he just knew how to really capture you and grab you.
Yeah.
He's a very creepy presence, but just amazing to watch.
I suppose you need that sort of character because those characters are throughout horror, like the Doom guy from Friday the 13th. You're doomed. You're all doomed.
Yeah. Yeah, he played a lot of very foreboding characters, and I almost forgot until I saw an actor from The Flash pay tribute to him, but he was the voice of Zoom in season 2 of The Flash. And I completely forgot about that. I'm like, oh my god, of course. So his voice was so iconic, and it fit that character like that. He didn't physically portray the character because it was all masked up in this grisly looking, you know, suit, but speed suit. But yeah, he did the voice really well. So I was very shocked and very sad to hear that he'd passed away. So he will be missed by so many people. Mike, do you have any fond memories of Tony Todd watching horror? Have you seen Candyman? Because I haven't.
I haven't. Either the remake or the original. But definitely up there for something to watch. And probably next Halloween.
Definitely.
I know his face because of Final Fantasy, Final Destination. Because my wife got me into them. So have you seen these? I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then I sort of ruined it for her. It's like, you do know this is a comedy. Because all the gags in it are so funny. Like
it's some of the most hilarious, darkly hilarious, and just creative ways to die is like literally that franchise.
Yeah, like the kid Constantine getting hit by a plane of glass.
Yeah.
The woman who is getting laser eye surgery and she falls out, and then there's an audible of her eyeball popping out.
Her eye popping out. Yeah.
It's like, you can't do that and expect scared. It's funny.
It's funny. Yeah, exactly.
Just having a look, he's done a lot of voiceovers because of his terrific voice. He was also in the Masters of the Universe.
Yes,
which
he
one?
was.
Revolution.
Yeah, Revolution.
Scareglow.
Yeah, he was scared. He was the voice of Scareglow. I completely forgot about that too.
And speaking of Venom, he was Venom.
Oh, he voiced Venom
in Spider-Man 2, the video game.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
Very
Will be
nice.
missed. Such
Absolutely.
a phenomenal person.
Yeah. Absolutely leaving a legacy behind forever. Okay. Now let's turn things around. As we move through the rest of the news, we've got some Marvel news to continue things with because D23 is happening in Brazil right now. There's a Brazilian D23 going on.
There's a Brazilian happening.
There's a Brazilian happening. Well done. So Feige and the gang are down there promoting all the upcoming MCU projects. And one of the cool things that they put out was basically what they're calling a special look trailer at Thunderbolts, which was essentially a trailer that had a scene attached to it at the start. So we kind of got to see the extended scene of, in the first trailer we saw, the gang, as it were, in the car getting away from these army guys that are chasing them, and then Bucky's there. He's also after them and trying to stop them, and we got kind of a look at what that scene's going to be like in the movie, which was cool because it kind of gave us a taste of the banter we're going to expect from the Thunderbolts team in this one. And then it kind of went into like a proper trailer. And yeah, it looks good. It looks fun. I'm excited to have fun with these characters. The only concern I have is that it just looks like Marvel's trying to do a Suicide Squad, and then I think a lot of us have been making that comparison since the movie was announced, because it really kind of is Marvel's Suicide Squad in terms of like, here are all your anti-heroes bunched together, getting up to mischief, and now they're on a mission and blah blah blah. But it looks fun though. Like, I'm willing to give it a go. It looks a little different to a lot of the other MCU stuff. And then a lot of people have been talking about the fact that that Val is the one that bought Stark Tower. Because we found out, what was it? Was it Far From Home or No Way Home? I think when Happy mentions to Peter that it's being sold.
I think it's both. Well,
might be in both.
They were moving out.
They were moving out
in the first one.
Yeah.
And then Peter like flies through.
It's been so long since I've watched those
Yeah.
movies, I can't remember. But yeah, you might be right. Yeah, so Val bought Stark Tower, Avengers Tower. So that's interesting. And I'm curious to see what the relationship is between the team and her, because clearly it's not good. But I'm also really excited to get to know Lewis Pullman's character, Bob, who is Sentry, because he seems a bit peculiar in this. Bit funny, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just here for it. It looks fun. It looks like it's going to be a good time at the movies. What did you make of it, Mike? What did you think?
I was hesitant to actually watch this because I'm sort of thinking maybe I don't want to watch like the second trailer of anything.
Okay.
If the first trailer sort of gets me, then cool.
Then you're good.
Yeah. And like the first trailer sort of got me. It's like, oh, this could be really interesting. And watching this is like, yeah, I'm sort of favoring this one to come out. Sort of, dare I say, more than Captain America 4, because this looks like it looks like they're having more fun with it. Where the Captain America second one, fourth one, definitely has a lot of elements that needed to be reworked, and just it looks like it's done by committee. So how is this going to be like looking like it's going to be fun? I don't know, but the proof is in the pudding. I'm going to watch them anyway because I'm contractually obligated to watch all these stupid Marvel stuff for work. But but watching this one, I'm loving the dynamic between like all of them. And maybe need to see a bit more. What's the Echo? No. Shifter. Ghost. That's it. Yeah, Shifter. Well, I see more of Shifter and Taskmaster. See where they fit in the dynamic. But the powerhouses are going to be Red Guardian, Bucky, and Florence Pugh. Can't remember her name. Florence.
Elena.
Yeah, Elena and Pete Smith. What's his name?
John Walker.
John Walker. Fake cap. Faux cap.
Fake cap. Yeah, faux cap.
Faux cap.
Dime store cap.
Wish.
That was
Temu.
funny. Yeah. The Temu Captain America.
The Temu Captain America.
Fuck.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. And with Val as well, it's going to be very interesting and sort of an explanation of the asterisks as well. But is to be seen. Like Alexei wants be called Thunderbolts, but no one's on board with it. So it could be something happens in Captain America with the president, and who knows. An interesting theory is we get in Captain 4, because I think that's coming out first, and then
it is.
Yeah, and then Thunderbolts, where
Yeah.
the whole world finds out that Red Hulk is the president, and Alexei, being the proud Russian that he is like, yes, a Russian Red. We should call ourselves Thunderbolt, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the biggest one is like, nah, just it's Dark Avengers. Yeah. So when is
Dark
this coming out?
Avengers. Well, I know it's May next year.
Yeah.
April, May, I think. Yeah, early May.
May or may not.
It's my birthday present to
Hey.
me from Kevin Feige. So thank you.
But you know what my birthday present is?
Yeah, Captain America.
Captain America. Yay.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Let's keep it Disney, but move universes now as we talk about this interesting announcement.
Multiverses are bullshit. Remember that was from Venom?
Yes. Yes.
Tried
Vaguely.
to tie in as like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're doing something else.
Yeah, we're doing something else. Funny. Yeah, so there's some Star Wars news. Lucasfilm announced this week that writer, producer, director Simon Kinberg is going to be making a Star Wars trilogy. So yeah, that's I'm a little hesitant on this. Only because of his history with X-Men. He's been involved in a lot of the X-Men movies getting made. Some of the good ones, I think, and some of the not so good ones. I.e., he directed Dark Phoenix. Anyone? So I don't know.
Hold on, Dark Phoenix. The second.
The one
try.
the one that was actually called Dark Phoenix. Yeah.
the second.
The second try. Yes. That's
Try
what
not.
it was actually called.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Wow. Yes. Apparently he loves Yoda because now he's actually making Star Wars. Yeah. So that's interesting. That he's gonna do these, but I didn't actually realize this, and this is the one thing that's kind of turned me around a little bit on it. He co-created Star Wars Rebels. So, say what you will about Rebels. I haven't seen all of it. You guys have seen it. Like you and Fulya. So, there's some good Star Wars stuff in it from what I've heard from people. And then it's also a very, very much a kid's show at the same time. But the fact that he's got some Star Wars credentials under him already is kind of nice to hear. However, Kathleen Kennedy will be producing these movies with him. And Kathy's been a bit of late. She's some of the things she's let happen have just been a bit okay. All right, you do you, Kathleen. You do you. But anyway, she's trying. She's trying. Hopefully, this is good. I don't know. There was a rumor when it was announced that it was going to be a continuation of the Skywalker saga. That is not true. That has been debunked since the news came out. It is not going to be a continuation. It's going to be a completely new trilogy.
Yeah.
No idea what it's about. That's all we have. So more Star Wars. They're all dead. Yeah. More Star Wars on the way. That we've still got more movies coming from a lot of other talented filmmakers like James Mangold and Taika Waititi, and and then Skeleton Crew series is going to be dropping on Disney Plus next month, and we've got a release date. We got a release date for Andor season 2. I believe I saw it's dropping in April next year. The second and final season of that. So that's exciting. But so lots of Star Wars on the horizon, guys. We'll see how it goes. Mike, how are you feeling about this? The fact that we're getting a new trilogy from Simon Kinberg.
I don't know. Probably a bit early. I give it another decade. Or 5 years or so. Trying to find stuff that he's done. Simon. Simon Kelberg. I got Alexi on the brain at the moment. Yeah. He's basically directed all the almost all the X-Men. So he has been around the good ones, like Logan and all the Deadpools of executive producer. So
yeah.
he's seen good films. he's run good films. Yeah. What's he done? Oh, he's directed a Twilight Zone episode.
Cool.
Ah, was it that one? Okay. It's that one. Jordan Peele did I think 2 seasons of a newer Twilight Zone, and yeah, so and I did like that one. It was a sort of a retelling of Nightmare at 30,000 feet.
Cool.
Not exactly the same because they do love jumping back to that one.
It's so iconic, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if he's going to stay for these 3, good, because we know what happened last time. People tend to do their own things, and then they go back on their ideas, and it's just a big mess. Yeah. So, and yeah. But, a lot of people who don't like Star Wars don't like Star Wars. That's why I'm thinking just give it another 5 years, and then the flavor of knocking back Star Wars because it's whatever is I'm here nor there. I'm not going to be as like, I'm not going to watch it. It's like, clearly I'm probably going to watch it, and by the time they come out, my kids are going to be viewing age. So who knows if they're going to like Star Wars or not. I'm not going to force like too much stuff on them. Just little bits and pieces,
Droplets.
Yeah, being aware of the zeitgeist. That sort of thing. It's like, I know that. I know that Darth Vader guy. He's the bad guy, but he's so cool. It's like, oh yeah, he killed kids. Can't really get back on that. How dare you get a Force ghost? You still killed kids. And apparently, Anakin is people's favorite. It's like, really? What about the real hero? He's the real hero.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Motherfucker has the high ground.
Damn straight.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I feel. That's my feelings.
I love that. Thank you for sharing your feelings.
And good to get away from the Skywalker saga. I was going to say Star Wars saga. I was like, well, it's all saga. It's all saga to me.
It's all saga. Well, I mean, they're obviously Rey's getting her own movie, and so that can be sort of Skywalker saga adjacent continuation, I guess, because she's a Skywalker now, I guess.
By name only. Yeah.
By name only. Yeah. Skywalker Palpatine. All right. We got one more thing to talk about before we move on out of the news.
One more.
This is pretty cool. Stranger Things Season 5. The promo is starting to ramp up a bit. I think they've finished filming it already. And there's been lots of things shared from the set. And hopefully I can't imagine we're going to get a trailer until something like maybe the Super Bowl, I guess. Would be like
year.
the next. Yeah, that would be like the next big event for a trailer to drop. But until then, Netflix decided to release to us the episode titles for the 5th and final season. There's going to be 8 episodes, and they are thus. We have The Crawl, The Vanishing of Blank. So they're not revealing to us who's vanished. That was a bit of a tease. Then we have the Turnbow Trap, Sorcerer, Shock Jock, Escape from Camazots, and The Bridge. And then we have the finale of the whole show is going to be called The Right Side Up, which I kind of like.
Which goes for 3 hours.
It's going to be, it's going to be an epic episode. So those are the names. We can't really say too much, but they do sound very Stranger Thingsy. I guess in terms of their titles. But yeah, I can't wait for this. I'll be glad that it's finally the story's coming full circle and coming to an end. But yeah, it sucks that we've had to wait so long, for this to come out. But hey, it's all right. Next year, it's gonna finally happen. Yeah, I'm excited. Mike, do you have any thoughts on any of these episode titles? Any theories going around your brain?
No, because I didn't know about this till today. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm sort of there's other stuff that's been plaguing on my mind, but I don't know. I'll have another deep dive. But apparently, this is going to be all set 1 year after previous.
yeah, 1987.
Which is weird because they're all in their 20s now. So you're saying these 11-year-olds by the age of 16 they're starting to grow grey hairs. What? Time is an illusion. Lunchtime doubly so. Anyway. And I thought, yeah, I know there's been problems with trying to get this up and running and everything, but you can't just leave Hawkins basically. The Hell's Mouth is now open, so it's gonna be in a year. So does that mean it's going to be the apocalypse? And we're doing a Mad Max sort of thing.
Maybe.
That's the only way I see it like happening, because everything's gone to shit now. What are they gonna do? It's like, oh no, it's a secret agent cover up. It's like, really? When that happened? Okay, you do you, TV show. Maybe you should have stopped at 2. 2 seasons in it.
They probably could have stopped at 1 season if they really wanted to. Like, the first season is a very well-rounded story.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
And it ended as like, oh. It's like, you don't need more. It's like, oh, stories can be told. But why would you? It was a nice, neat bow. I don't know. I'm sort of poo-pooing Stranger Things, even though I did enjoy it. It's just, I don't know. It's just, like from the 4th season, they couldn't find enough things to do with other people. Like, the cast is so big, and they couldn't do and they couldn't do something worthwhile with like anyone. Like, what did fucking Mike do in the last season? Nothing.
You know what? I could not tell you what Mike did. Mike was there in season 4.
Yeah, Mike was there.
He didn't really do anything. Argyle is funny, but he's not coming back for the last season.
No. Because all of a sudden they're in California. We gotta do the drug thing. Will this lead to anything? Nah. Nothing.
I don't know. I just don't want them to undermine what happened with Max. Because that was pretty epic in season 4, and from what we can see, it looks like somehow she's maybe okay. I don't know. I don't know. Confusing. I have questions.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
And what does Dustin doesn't do nothing. Dustin and
Dustin's
Mike
just awesome.
and Will just, you know, every time something happens, he touches his neck, and that's it. Do something. God.
Maybe the last season will be.
Get someone who can do like multi-character stories. Like get James Gunn in there. He knows it. He knows how to do that. How to balance that balancing act.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. They probably shot themselves in the foot from introducing so many characters.
But hopefully, Caleb Laffigan, should be playing Miles Morales. So there's my dream cast.
Yeah, I would totally back that.
Yeah.
Just to see him as Miles Morales, that'd be sick. Perfect. That would be perfect casting. If they did. Yeah. Make it happen.
So where's that come out next year? Cool.
Mr. Feige, yes. Next year sometime. We don't know. Lots to look forward to. Okay.
Yes.
Speaking of things coming out next year, let's roll on up to the trailer park.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers.
Bum ba da bum bum.
Yeah.
Bow bow. Yeah.
And it's funny that I say coming out next year when there's literally one trailer here that's coming out next year. Everything else is coming out this year. But hey, it's fine.
Really?
I'll take a segue. Yep.
Oh. Okay. Whoa. Okay.
Whoa. Yeah.
I didn't expect the
that
third
right.
one to come out so soon. Okay.
No, I know. Yeah, very soon.
That was silent and deadly.
Okay, our first trailer, of course, we've mentioned it already in the podcast so far. This is the new trailer that was dropped at D23 in Brazil for Captain America Brave New World. I liked this trailer better than the first trailer. This was a really coolly edited trailer. And I don't know if they've like... I can't tell if they're trying too hard to be like this cool, edgy espionage action thriller, like, you know, like a fucking Tom Clancy sort of deal, or what. But I don't know. I liked it. I was picking up what they were putting down. Like, I liked the way they edited it together with like have that line going up through the image and then splitting it into two, and like that was just kind of cool. And then the score behind it was interesting as well. I kind of liked it. But yeah, just seeing more of this. You know, they didn't show us too much more than the first trailer. Although we got a brief but good shot of the Celestial's hand sticking out of the ocean. So that was cool. And then we got our best look yet, of course, at Harrison Ford as President Ross as the Red Hulk. Very interesting, very cool. I still can't believe Harrison Ford's in a Marvel movie. I still can't wrap my head around that. I don't know why I'm having such problems with it, but anyway, like I love him. And he looks like he's doing his darndest in this role, and I appreciate that because, you know, he didn't originate the role, sadly, but yeah, it's good to see him carrying on William Hurt's legacy in this, and it'll be interesting to compare the two performances and see how he kind of does it, because Harrison Ford is very Harrison Ford, you know, and William Hurt was very reserved and stoic and sort of two very different presences on screen, I would say, but
two different
we'll see.
Presidents.
President. It's just nice Harrison Ford's playing a president again. It's fun. But yeah, no, I don't have too much else to add. It looks really good. I mean, I'll agree with you, Mike. I'm more excited for Thunderbolts than I am for this movie. And it was really weird to hear Sam Wilson called Cap in this trailer. Like that's new. But I guess he's Cap now. So, and I really liked that final shot of him. Like Red Hulk throws this flaming car at him, and then Sam comes up and does a flip and uses his wings to slice the car in half. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. But yeah,
He's got that.
I'm looking
He's got
looking
that
forward to it.
vibranium and
Vibranium.
Mediupium.
Mediupium.
From Wakanda.
Yes.
Yes.
Vibranium. What did you think of this trailer, Mike?
Yeah. I didn't need it. But I agree. It was a well put together trailer. And there's not really much more that they can add from the previous trailer. I can't remember when the last one came out. Oh, a while back. Yeah. Just to get you hyped because it's coming out really, really soon for my birthday.
On your birthday.
But I'm not gonna watch it in gold class.
No.
Thunderbolts gold class.
Thunderbolts gold class.
Yeah.
Nice.
And also, what's the popcorn bucket gonna be? Is it gonna be an upside down red fist? Maybe. Don't know. Yeah, I can't really add too much because basically it's the same. It's just to remind you things are coming out, and it also reminds us what the date is that it comes out, and I've forgotten. What's the date again?
What's the date on this one? Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yes.
Captain America: Brave New World is going to be in theaters on the 13th of February next year.
Just in time for my birthday, Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Valentine's Day. Oh.
Valentine's Day.
Take your special someone or something to the cinema to watch.
Yes. Yes, do it.
Do it.
Do it. Cool. Well, keeping it Marvel, they dropped another trailer out of D23 Brazil, and this one was my favorite this week. This one has me the most hyped. What If Season 3? This is
What if
a
what?
trailer. What if what? Trailer for the final season of this amazing animated series. And I'm actually a bit sad that they've decided to end it. But hey, whatever, it's fine. It looks like it's gonna go out with a bang. Some of the stuff they put in this, an incursion, yes. Some of the stuff they put in this trailer was just epic and mind blowing, and I mean, probably my favorite thing in the trailer was seeing and hearing Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight again.
Yes.
That made me very happy. That seemed to make the internet very happy as well.
Oh, that was another thing that made me happy.
Yeah. Is it going to be is it the thing that finished the trailer out?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe? Or is it something else?
That's that.
It is that? Yeah,
it's that.
It's that. Yeah, that was the moment that made me kind of lose my shit a little bit. I can't even believe it. Yeah, seeing Storm with Mjolnir, and she's the goddess of thunder. I mean, take my money. I know I already paid
thunder and lightning.
And lightning. Take my fucking money. Please take more of it, Disney. Yeah. That was cool. That was cool. And and it's the same voice actress from X-Men animated series and X-Men 97. So fucking let's go. What If Season 3? This looks great. And they're bringing back that I've forgotten her name, but they're bringing back that original character that they came up with in Season 2 as well.
Yes.
And I was very glad to see that because she was very cool. But I'm a terrible person and can't remember what she's called, but I loved her story. And I'm excited to see what's going on with the Watchers Council and them talking about your story is coming to an end and blah blah blah. And it looks epic. It looks great. I can't wait for this. Mike, what did you think of this trailer?
It is so jam packed with people.
Yeah.
Like yeah, Oscar Isaac coming back. David Harper doing Alexi
Yep.
as well. And I can't wait for that episode where him just carpooling with Bucky.
Yeah.
It's like something to enjoy just before Thunderbolts and their
Yeah.
sort of dynamic. And there's a couple of I don't know if I should say because it may be spoilers. I'm on the wiki right now, so obviously it can't be a spoiler. But Catherine Hahn,
Yes, Agatha Harkness is in this trailer.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And other people doing other voices for people who can't be there. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, you got your Tony Stark, you got the Black Widow and all that, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's
but
fun.
but yeah, Alison Smith doing Storm again, but in a different TV show. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and like this with this context, like, oh my god.
Yeah. if they're setting that out, what else? We're gonna get all the X-Men crew? Is it gonna be like a
Oh my god. Oh, my heart. Could you imagine if they brought Gambit back in some form in this? They could totally do that. Oh no.
it's endless curiosities. What's it?
Yeah. Endless possibilities?
Possibilities, that's it. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, someone said there was one thing that could have made Deadpool and Wolverine cool is getting Nolan North to do a voice for Deadpool because he did all the Deadpool animated shows as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been a cool little Easter egg. Maybe in here.
Don't have to
Yeah, Deadpool. Could put Deadpool in here.
They could put Deadpool. Nolan North.
Deadpool.
Like people said, he could have played Headpool instead of Nathan Fillion. Yeah, or animated Pool. Who knows?
Yeah.
Put that in somewhere else. But yeah, sky's the limit. I can't wait.
That is the limit.
But the only problem is, I don't like the release schedule because they did the exact same thing for season 2, and it was annoying.
Yeah. So what's the release schedule? Is it during a couple episodes at a time, or
it's like
chunks?
It's like one at a time, but over the Christmas period.
Oh, like daily?
Yeah, something like that.
Because I think that's what they did last year, didn't they? They did one episode a day.
Yeah.
I think.
And I couldn't remember which one I was up to because, it's Christmas and it's family. And it's like, no, Daddy needs to watch his cartoons. And also, I'm traveling to Canberra as well, so that's going to be annoying. There's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm going to be missing out on. Like, I can't take the kids to go and watch Sonic 3 on Boxing Day.
No.
Because we'll be traveling. Ah, well.
That's all right. The day after.
Yeah. That was good, though.
Not as good.
I just got to stay off the internet.
Yes.
Yeah. So when is this coming out? Sorry.
So that's okay. So the third season of What If will begin streaming on Disney Plus on the 22nd of December, and you were right, it will release one episode a day. The final 8 episodes, one a day, up until the 29th of December when the finale will air. So good way to finish the year, I say. But yeah, I agree with the release schedule. It's a bit interesting. Interesting choice.
And they also got Skeleton Crew to put in there somewhere. I don't know. Yeah,
that's coming out in a couple of weeks. So
looks like one of them is going to have to fall on the wayside.
Yes.
But I'm more siding towards What If, though. Or I could just watch the Storm episode and the Bucky and Alexi episode. And there's a cowboy version. That was cool. They're all going back to the Cowboys.
Yeah. West.
Yeah. Wild, Wild West.
1885.
That's all Wild, Wild West. Ah, that movie's terrible, but still good.
It's enjoyable. It's not a good movie, but it's enjoyable. I don't know. I don't know why.
It's enjoyably bad.
I just like. There are two reasons I like that movie. One, Kevin Kline, and two, Kenneth Branagh. That's it. They're the two things in that movie that are really great.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Will Smith still thinking he's hot shit.
I mean, he was technically hot shit in 1999 when it came out.
But
so
it was clear in that one, and after the reception of the movie, it's like, oh, okay. He had a bit of a welcome to Jesus moment. It's like, oh, okay. I need to calm down.
And so he's like, and he's like, I'm gonna make another Bad Boys movie, and then that's not gonna work as well, and I'm gonna start doing heavy dramatic roles. So there we go.
Hancock.
Unless Ali came out. Yeah, unless Ali came out before Bad Boys 2. Anyway, we're really getting off topic now.
Anyway.
We've got one more trailer to talk about.
We do.
And it's a Christmas movie.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas, but it's my brand of Christmas movie because it is a non-traditional Christmas film. I would call this one, and this one is called Dear Santa. Stars Jack Black. Not a Santa though, because the poor kid at the center of this story has written a letter to Santa, but he misspelt Santa's name, and he sent a letter to Satan, and I think Jack Black's playing Satan in this movie, or an interpretation of Satan adjacent, and wishes are happening. He wants the kid's soul, but it's a PG rated movie, I think, or PG-13. But it's also, I think it's directed by the Farrelly brothers too.
Oh dear.
Or at least they're involved in some way.
Directed. Yeah.
Directed by them, yeah. Thank you.
One of them.
One of the Peter or
Bobby.
the other one. Bobby Farrelly.
Bobby Farrelly.
Farrelly.
But screenplay by Peter.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, nice. But yeah, I don't know. This kind of looked interesting. I didn't think it was a great trailer per se. But I don't know if I don't even know if I'll watch it actually, to be honest. But I don't know. Jack Black looks like he's having fun getting to play the devil. He looks pretty great in his outfit. I like the kind of like scorched red look on him with his beard and everything, a fire and brimstone and all that. But yeah, I don't know. It looks like it might be okay, but given the Farrelly brothers' history with comedy, it could go one way, or it could very well go a complete other way, off the fucking tracks, and you'll never see me again. Sort of situation where I'm just like, get me out of here. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm not really sure about this one. Yeah, it was an interesting trailer, but yeah, Jack Black's good. I don't really have too much else to add other than that. Mike, what do you think? Do you think you'll add this to your Christmas movie list for the kids at some point? Maybe not this year, but
yeah, I'll probably watch it, but I don't want to watch it.
Fair.
Yeah, I've been completely burnt the living shit out from Farley's from, dare I say it, 10 years ago.
I know exactly what movie you're talking about.
Dumb and Dumber 2? I was so looking forward to that. And then I watched it. And I can see why they haven't worked in 10 years.
Well, they've barely done any comedy in 10 years,
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm just having a look. It's like there hasn't been much. Dare I say, probably the first one. Probably Kingpin, but Dumb and Dumber is way up there for like great comedies, of the dim-witted comedies, and how they live their lives. But after that, it's just all this, just the rest of the stuff is just trash and blech. Like something about Mary. Shallow Hal, I can't really like. I don't like it anyway. It's dealing with, yeah. They did Hall Pass too. Oh, what a fucking. But I wasn't infused when I heard Farley's. One of the Farley brothers is directing this, and then Jack Black is like, yeah, he's at the moment he's almost overstaying his welcome. But having a look at it did give me a couple of chuckles. Like the premise is good, but can that hold up for an hour and a half? I don't know. But yeah, I'm flip flopping. I don't know. It's giving me Little Nicky vibes in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
And no doubt, people who are going to be offended by this, it's probably going to offend the right sort of people. But really, going to be offended by this sort of movie? I mean, here's the thing: if they touch on like Jesus or anything like that, maybe it'll give a tick of approval, because because Christmas is about Santa or is about Jesus, and then Satan comes in. I can get that, but yeah, it's one of those with it's like the what's that movie that came out not too long ago, Red One.
Yeah.
It's just, I like Christmas movies, and I like Christmas movies that have like a slant, like not, and something like this where to do, but I don't know. But it's coming out on a streaming service, so I'll probably watch it. I don't know if I do have Paramount Plus. But when is this coming out, Kendall?
Well, Dear Santa is going to be available streaming on Paramount Plus on the 25th of November. So, in literally just under 2 weeks.
Yeah, just in time for Christmas.
Just in time for Christmas, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Trailer Park done.
Yeah. If I was to show my kids this, I have to explain what Satan is. And that opens the door to a whole host of bullshit that I don't think my kids are ready for.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. What is Satan?
Too early.
Well, Satan is our
What is
Lord and
Satan?
Master. Shall I go down that road?
Love it. I love it. Cool. Well, before we get to our main topic of the episode, we're going to just quickly do a quickie review because it's in the name. Quickie review. Yes. Very good.
Quickie review.
We haven't been here to talk about how a certain show ended. And that show, of course, is Agatha All Along. Which they could have named a certain other character all along. I'm not going to do it. We're not doing spoilers. Because Fulya is going to watch this and we're going to talk about it in spoiler detail.
Properly.
When she comes back. Properly, because this show has actually become one of the biggest surprises, I think. Just got better and better every week.
In the viewing figures as well. It's just got,
Yeah.
Okay.
Up and up. Yeah. Very successful show, critically and just all round, enjoyable. But yeah, as for the last couple of episodes, I really enjoyed the way things kind of came together. The last episode was kind of devastating in a way. The end of the second last episode was a little devastating, but for a different reason. But then, like, learning more about, getting the full picture of things, I guess, is what is a good phrase to use without spoiling things. Was really good, really well done, and I love how they've. I mean, I don't know. I guess Agatha had. It's not like she wasn't 3-dimensional in WandaVision exactly, but like the depth they've given her, the complexity they've given her in this show, just is astounding. And then what they've done, with Teen, was very, very cool as well. I didn't see a lot of that coming at all. A lot of the big reveals I didn't see coming. Yeah. The only thing I was kind of right about was who he is. But then that was kind of obvious, I think, to a lot of people. Even if some people had it spoiled for them. But yeah, apologies.
Hey, it wasn't you.
I know it wasn't me.
It was the fucking internet.
Yeah, it was the fucking internet. But yeah, it was a great show. It was awesome. It was so well done, so well put together, and the storytelling was top notch. And the writing team behind the show, they need to make more stuff. And they're kind of teasing further stories maybe set in this world. So based on the success of the show, I'd say they probably will do a follow-up show. It won't be called Agatha all along, because they were very clear this is a one-off. But I think but that said, I think it's being submitted for like comedy series awards. So I don't know what that means exactly. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with this show. I loved it. I think probably episode 7 is still my favorite. But yeah, it was very well done. Very well done. Mike, what did you think, without spoiling it, the ending of Agatha All Along?
The ending. Overall, I really enjoyed the story that they told, and how everything falls into place, and it definitely would help with a rewatch. So the rewatch value would be fantastic. If you know the ending, you can go back and it being told in a different way, because there were certain lines, like I knew the real characters because of that pop vinyl bullshit for NASCAR. And I could tell that there was certain lines that would work well if you knew who that person was.
Yeah.
And so the rewatch aspect would be great. And yeah, I don't mind if they don't do like Agatha All Along Part 2 or Season 2 or anything like that. I think because you had WandaVision as a quasi first season, and then you have this one, I think because they can continue on to whatever, like Vision Quest as well, being sort of going to touch on elements from these others. I don't mind, and I like this sort of part of the MCU where it's all to do with mysticism and fantasy, and there's a lot of there's an audience there that actually wants to see this. Like they want to see they want to see like Blade. They want to see they want to see like another Moonlight. Sorry, microphone.
Midnight Suns.
Definitely, and you can sort of lead more into that. And I was quite surprised that the second last episode was the second last episode. It's like, what else is there? And
yeah,
that's why I kind of liked the last episode. It just tied the knot on all the bows that they were starting within the entire show, and where it would lead to. And no doubt we are going to keep seeing these characters in the grand scheme of the multiverse. Like, I would love to see these characters like interact with all the other mystical characters as well, with the Moon Knight and with Doctor Strange and all this, and how they're fighting the good fight of of them doing the magic and stuff, and that would be cool. What else can I not spoil?
Tricky.
But yeah, the writing is really, really good, and it just fitted perfectly within the time frame. It definitely had a lot of care and effort to it, and definitely with the WandaVision and including the Loki series, that the writing in it sort of with these sort of areas, they can probably be left with their own devices with this part of the universe as well, because some of the other ones are sort of tied down to, well, it's already established that stuff, like the Winter Soldier and what was it called? Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Sorry, I was going to say Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Wasn't there a reference to them being that in that show or something? I can't remember.
Possibly, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
because we can't remember.
No,
there were certain elements in that were good and just glazed over. It's like, what happened? I can't remember. Just the overall message was vote harder for good people and see how that ends up. Yeah, looking back on it now, it doesn't really work, does it? Considering what happened in the real world. Yeah, but with that and a little bit of She-Hulk as well, like it sort of is tied down with sort of established that like with the Hulk, we know the Hulk and it's trying to do something different within the confines of She-Hulk and those strings of comics of having fourth wall breaky and going behind the scenes. It's something that we've sort of haven't seen before. I mean, yeah, you got Deadpool, but even with She-Hulk, they're going in the studio, which is really bizarre, and maybe hopefully they will go back and sort of like touch on that. But it's sort of weird. But with the Agatha All Along stuff, cheapest show, which is good, but the most after Loki, probably the most successful. So
yeah, that's
learn from these lessons that you don't need a great big spectacle at the end to have a good story.
Exactly.
I mean, they sort of had that in the second last episode. That's why it was sort of weird having more continued on. But I'm glad that they didn't dwell too much on that. It was more it's more character fighty than more.
Yes, character driven.
Then more like, oh, look at the spectacle that we have. This is where all the money goes in.
Look at all the money.
Look at all the money. We got money, but it looks cheap. People are going to complain. How come Kamala Khan's hands look weird? Anyway. Yeah, so overall, I liked it. Fulya, you should watch it because I think it's essential viewing.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah.
And the dead stay dead.
Stuff. And the dead stay dead. Spoilers.
Is that really a spoiler?
Wow.
There's stakes. There you go. There's stakes.
There are stakes.
I didn't say who died.
No, you didn't say who died, but death is a thing.
Death is
literally. Death is a thing. Yes. Cool. All right. That was awesome. I can't wait to discuss that when Fulya gets back and watches it all. It's going to be a lot of fun. But until then, it's time.
Yes.
For the wibbly.
Whoopee.
For the wobbly.
Wobbly.
For the timey.
Timiny.
For the wimey.
Eh.
For the wonderful section we like to call...
Ooh. It says, you're pregnant.
Topical.
Oh. A popcorn culture.
A popcorn culture, yes. Talking who.
Talking who? Oi. Talking who?
Yes.
Talking who?
Fully is away, of course, which means Mike and I are going to discuss some Doctor Who.
Talking who?
And we are up to season 6, series 6, episode 5 and 6, The Rebel Flesh and the Almost People. Two-parter. So two episodes to discuss. Overall thoughts. Should we just discuss them as one, considering the storyline is
It is one,
very,
yeah.
It's very continuous. It's obviously a two-part of the same story, but how sometimes they can be very, definitive in a way. This is very much continues straight away. So I think overall for the two, I enjoyed it. Definitely seen better two-parters, I suppose, but for what it is, I thought it was pretty good. Really interesting concept, very cool sci-fi concept, very Doctor Who concept. I wish they'd kind of done more with the existentialism in play. Like, they could have explored what makes someone human and not human a bit more. They touch on it, obviously.
Sentient life, yeah.
Sentient life, but I really liked what they did with that, anyway, at the very least. And just the Doctor being the Doctor, and Rory being too pure for this world, as I continue to say.
He's a nurse. He went all nurse mode.
Yeah. He did. He really, really did. And it was good. Amy didn't piss me off this episode, so that's good. I'll take that as a win.
Wow.
Well,
Amy didn't piss you off.
Yeah, it's becoming a thing.
What?
She does certain things that annoy me. I don't know if you've noticed.
No. I was hinting to the fact is like, was it Amy that?
Was it even Amy? I know. I'm looking forward to discussing that with you when we get there.
So it's interesting that she didn't piss you off here, even though it wasn't the real one. But...
It technically wasn't her. That's true. That was a cool twist. That was a really cool twist. I liked that. So overall, it was cool. It was very interesting. The ending definitely was a big payoff. For the whole thing, kind of even heightened it, I suppose, a little bit. Sort of like the Darth Vader corridor scene at the end of Rogue One. It just really kind of upped it a bit. And I liked the makeup effect of the flesh, like the way that they
the gangers,
like the gangers, the way that they looked when they were sort of,
preformed,
humanoid-esque and whatnot. So very, very interesting, fascinating two-parter. Mike, what did you think? How did you go rewatching this?
I don't remember it that much because my memory of it is like it was I don't this is the sort of one that I could miss, and because the previous was the Doctor's Wife, which is phenomenally good, and then you got this one, which is a two-parter, overly stuffed, didn't really have much to grasp on for context or even concept, because there was a lot happening and a lot of characters to divulge and get into, and but overall, having a rewatch, I liked, a bit like you, I like the premise. I wish they focused more onto it, because I like the ending, but it sort of took away a bit too much of what the story was, because
Yeah, that's fair.
it's like, that is meant for the overarching story within the complete series, and it sort of overshadows the entire thing, and that's why I can't really remember it that much, or even remembering liking it or anything like that. It's like, oh yeah, that's a thing. They're doing the cloning thing, which they've sort of done, but they're more focusing on like the aspect of sentient thought, and if you have all the memories, i.e. the same person, and that sort of fighting to and fro, and even going into the second episode, Amy's sort of ideal of who is the real Doctor, and all that, and that's why I'm thinking sort of undercutting the entire thing at the end, where overall it didn't really matter. So
Yeah.
probably that's the only caveat that I didn't really particularly like, because it wasn't really focusing on one bit.
No, that's fair.
Or anything like that. But which, like, watching it now, in hindsight, it is great, because the original concept was because Avatar was hugely popular. They wanted to do sort of like an Avatar sort of thing, like is your avatar the real person, or is it the Sam Worthington in the wheelchair body, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And also they're sort of touching on John Carpenter's The Thing as well, like who's the real
Very
person
much.
and all that. But because we're watching this in 2024, I'm seeing a lot of Mickey 17 now.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
that sort of concept, like in the far future, who took who, and all that, and I'm really looking forward to Mickey 17. It just that just looks insane and great, and and also sort of the same premise. It's dealing with like industrial like ramifications of making these creatures. Are they a piece of machinery to do all the mining, or are they people to have respect and rights and all this? And that's a big thing for science fiction to have. It's like having that question, having that question all the time. What is life, and what is the meaning of life, and all that. So overall, liked it. Wish they focused more on the issues, and way too much. We'll get into it, but CGI that's questionable.
Very much.
Yeah, like there are people who like it, people who hate it. It's sort of split down the middle.
Well, I guess because I wanted to point it out, and this like was very interesting the way the show started, like a kind of funny way to set up your premise by like having someone accidentally get knocked into a vat of acid, and then like his companions like don't react, like they're just so blasé and like nonchalant about it, and then immediately we're outside and we're in a different space, and then it's the same guy and he's fine, and then I was just so confused. I'm like, wait, what's happening? What's going on here? I thought that was a really cool way to start the whole episode, I guess.
It's the Rick and Morty acid episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I'm so curious as to like why they were mining acid too. Like, I want to know. Like, I'm guessing for like weaponized purposes, or like.
Well, if you don't have to make it into a lab, and it's free flowing.
Yeah.
I mean, technically we don't need coal.
Yeah, true.
We don't
We're still
need
gonna mine it.
natural gas.
No.
You hear that? Woke me.
Work you.
All about the renewables right here.
Renewables, yes. Yeah, basically things really kick off with this two-parter when there's a solar tsunami, a solar wave, a solar storm, many different words being thrown around by the Doctor. And that's, affects the TARDIS, or at least so that's what we think is happening. But at the end of the episode, spoilers for the end, but the Doctor's like, no, I went there on purpose.
I
Okay, that's
lied.
not how- Yeah, I lied. But yeah, it looks like the solar wave has like swept up the TARDIS along with what's going on on this island underneath this castle / monastery where all this acid is and being mined and stuff. And so that was kind of to have that kind of looming over them the whole episode, and then to have another case of the Doctor telling someone to get the hell out of somewhere and they're just stubborn. Like, that's a trope that I'm definitely it's definitely used a lot. I like, and here it was just kind of, I didn't really love how they did it here, because it was immediately as soon as like the second wave hit or whatever, and then Cleves was just like, I couldn't save them, or I can't remember what she said, but she was like, I can't find them or whatever, like things have gone wrong, we should have listened to you, or I don't know what she said. But I'm just like, yeah, you should have gotten out of there when you had the chance, and now shit's fucked. Yeah, what do you think of that trope and how it was used here, Mike? Any thoughts on that?
Wow, I've been watching Doctor Who for far too long, and it's just yeah, it's just it's like, yeah, I get it. When you watch these episodes over and over and over, and you can sort of see elements of, sort of done that before, so yeah. There's a lot of that in Doctor Who. I mean, it's been running for over 60 years, so there's going to be bounds that have like same things over and over and over.
Yeah,
I suppose that goes for any fiction, really.
Yeah, especially in something that's a bit heightened like sci-fi can be. Things like this are going to happen.
What do you mean sci-fi is an allegory for real life? What do you mean it's a cautionary tale?
That's great. So basically, Doctor and Amy and Rory, they get to this island in the 22nd century, and they meet these miners, and things slowly become clear that they've sort of used technology to sort of clone themselves, I guess in a way you could call it that. It's not exactly what it is, but there's this thing called the flesh, and with that they can make what they called them gangers, which was an interesting term.
Short for doppelgangers. So.
Oh, of course. My tired brain did not put that together until now. Gangers. Okay, that makes so much more sense. Okay, all right. Thank you for putting that out to me. Yes, gangers. And then when the solar wave hits, then shit gets a bit fucked, and suddenly it's a very much a who's, like you said, references to the thing. Who's the real crew and who are the gangers? Because they can obviously look very much like them. Perfect copies. Yeah, perfect copies. So that was kind of fun watching along and trying to figure out who was who and what was going on for a while, and how that developed. And then I also liked how quickly the Doctor was like, they're real people. We can't, because like the humans are like, they want to shut everything down, and they want to destroy the gangers or whatever, and get themselves out. But like, the doctor's like, well actually, you know, they have all of your memories, all your life experiences. They are you. They are exactly you to a T. And they have life. There's so many good kind of moments like that, and like in this two-parter, like there was one I loved where the doctor, like, you know, after one of them gets killed, one of the gangers gets killed by one of the human crew, and the doctor just goes into this tirade about like this being had a heart. They had a heart, and you've now you've stopped it. Like you've put an end to it. Like that was just Matt Smith was very good in this two-parter. I will say he was exceptional. But yeah, Mike, what are your thoughts on the premise, and like did you enjoy following along with like who was the real ganger and who was the real and who was the ganger and who was, you know,
Yeah,
all of that kind of fun stuff?
like one of my favorite horror movies slash sci-fi is The Thing, and how just claustrophobic and not aware of your surroundings and just stuck in the middle of somewhere with this thing in the name, but having the added caveat of like talking into a mirror and that mirror talking back would be very strange and sort of a damage to the psyche, and how that sort of premise. I did enjoy it, but I can't remember like my first viewing of it, but I can only go by what I see knowing what happens. Yeah, I can't really add too much to that.
Okay.
I thought I thought it was good. Going like having the sort of ticking clock as well, with the next solar flare, and trying to like get off this planet or this part of the planet, and yeah, I'm stumped.
Yeah, that's okay.
Whoopsie.
Well, one of my other favorite aspects and like kind of interesting aspects of the episode was the character of Jennifer Lucas, who, you know, was obviously I think we see her as a human at one point. I can't even remember now. Like, but well, we see her when she's dead. But like the ganger versions of her and how one of them bonds with Rory, and then, like you said, Mike, earlier, Rory's nursing side sort of comes out, and he just immediately he goes from being, you know, very cautious to just empathizing with Jennifer. As you know, there's that one scene where she's kind of monologuing and talking about how like I remember like every childhood sickness and every birthday, and like I'm her and she's me, and you know this is who I am, and you know I'm real, I exist, and Rory, you know, really falls for it. But I feel like it was genuine at that point, I guess. I don't know, because that was really interesting, because then when we get to the point where one of the humans kills one of the gangers, and then she turns on them, right? Like she goes from wanting to, you know, find a peace between the humans and the gangers to wanting to destroy them, and then we get that whole like it's us versus them from both sides, which was also quite fun, because like of course they were both of them, because they're all the same, so of course they're both gonna do allegory, Mike. It's allegory.
Yeah. I'm not complaining about it.
No, I know. It's great. It's good. Yeah, but I found Jennifer really fascinating in that sense of like just this one moment of betrayal, and she's like, nah, now I want vengeance.
Yeah.
And then, and then she ends the episode by becoming if Slender Man was in the ring, I guess. Like, just this creepy monster thing. Like, she keeps saying, I'm not a monster, I'm real, and then she becomes a monster by the end. I kind of really liked how they did that. What did you make of it all?
Or the baby from Romulus.
Oh yeah, I rewatched that recently, actually. Yeah, it was better on the rewatch, I think, but still that ending is.
Mammy.
Oh boy.
Mammy. I want milk. Yeah,
Too
and
much milk.
like this is where people go, oh, it's crappy CGI. It's like, well, now she turned into a rubbery man. Is it really necessary? Oh, it's a vibe, I guess. But that sort of turn that Jennifer has, after overall, you can kind of sort of see where she's going because because spoilers, at the end it turns out that the real Jennifer has been long gone, and it's been sort of a reback, foldback, no, reback, not reback, feedback loop of just constantly going ganger and ganger and ganger, and then just realizing that they're just there to be like throw away, and so still having those memories of every death almost every time, and not having the real one sort of having that buffer. So I suppose you could sort of explain that away, of the motivations for Jennifer to be the big bad, and yeah, stopped in its tracks. Me, stretchy man.
Stretchy man. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could argue that was maybe not executed well in terms of the visual effects. Like,
after 15 years of thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think. I mean, it probably would have been better and creepier if they'd leaned more into the practical with her, like, because they did such a good job with like creating that pale, shiny skin with those red veins and their crazy kind of eyes. Like, they really could have leaned into that a bit more, and like, in a like practical sense.
Yeah, like the puppetry sort of thing.
Yeah,
sort of thing that they do with the Great Blue Beyond of the Doctor and Donna.
The wide blue yonder, or whatever they call it.
Yonder, and having the big
wild blue yonder,
big arms. It's like the ganger is sort of deforming, and it's like, and is running out of input. I need the input, but then it sort of goes back on the well, are they alive or are they not? But I still think it's more of a feedback loop. And they just go crazy. They go crazy if they don't have a starting point or a starting point.
Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, execution aside, like, I don't know. I just kind of liked how she didn't want to be the villain, and then she became the villain she didn't want to be. So it's just, and especially because, like, when we first meet her, she starts off so sweet and innocent and kind of affected by what's going on, and then she actually turns out to be the worst of them. Which is quite interesting. Speaking of interesting, though, I'd love to hear what you thought of the two doctors. We've got a real.
I love the two doctors. That's a really good episode of the classic series. There is an episode called The Two Doctors.
I know, yeah. Because I loved it. Like, I just, the way that, in certain scenes they managed to edit both the two Matt Smiths together quite well. And yeah, just hearing them finish each other's sentences and talking in unison and just both being like that. The first scene you see them together at the beginning of the the second episode, the Almost People, is just quite. It just tickled me so much. Like just Matt Smith just looks like he's having the best time getting to play off himself in this really interesting way. It was really really good, and I really enjoyed how they paid it off with the how they tricked Amy and into because she's so against the Ganger doctor for the whole time, and then she's like, oh, actually you've been with the Ganger doctor for this, thinking that it was the real doctor. Which I have a question for you in a sec, but what did you think about it, at seeing it and how it played out?
This is probably one of the highlights of it, of these two episodes, of having an apparatus in an episode of the Doctor talking to himself, and it's not the first and it's not the last, and how he can talk, he can like both have exposition dumps between two characters, but of the same character. So it's a good writing ploy for that. So, and just a premise of a newly formed being, all of a sudden having like 900 years of memory just dumped in.
Yeah, that was cool.
And having like all those quotes that he says are from Doctor Who, like classic series.
I figured that must have been cool to hear,
including a small audio drop of "Would You Like a Jelly Baby" from Tom Baker, which is great.
That is cool.
Just chuck it in somewhere. Yeah. Like I've reversed the polarity of the neutron flow is Doctor Who in itself, and that does come up every now and again if they want something like for the old fans are going, we know that one. Yeah, Third Doctor said that constantly. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, it sort of reminds me of the next Doctor, which is a Christmas episode, like the one that we saw with David Tennant, and how a human getting informational. I can't remember what it's called. Like essentially it's a encyclopedia of the Doctor's life, being injected into a human's memory, and he thinks he's the Doctor.
Yeah, I remember that. Wow.
Yeah, so something like that. So again, things have been done before, but a little bit different. Yeah.
A little bit different.
Yeah, I really enjoy this sort of dynamic, and the only way to know that it's a different Doctor is Shoes, which is kind of strange because gangers make their own make their own clothes. So does that mean the Doctor is wearing ganger shoes when they do the swap to trick, and when spoilers at the end, the Doctor's ganger like disapparates and falls into a puddle. So does that mean the Doctor is running around in barefoot now, or is his shoe slightly melting? I need to know these questions. I need to know the answer to these questions. Is he wearing squelchy shoes?
Yeah, you're asking the real important questions.
Yes, squelchy shoes.
Squelchy shoes. Speaking of questions, a question for you, and I just want it mostly just clarified in case I missed it.
Clarification. Yep.
So there's a scene where Amy says a thing she shouldn't be saying, talking about the doctor's death.
Mhm.
And she thinks she's talking to the ganger.
Mhm.
And we think she's talking to the ganger. But after the reveal at the end, was it the doctor she was telling?
Yes.
The actual doctor?
Yes.
So she told the doctor about his death.
Yeah.
Great. Good job, Amy. I mean, she didn't know, but yeah. That's okay. That's interesting because then, because that kind of made me go, because obviously after she says that and then he, pushes her against the wall and loses his shit a bit, but then he starts going on about the bloody the other gangers and how he's seeing their deaths and feeling their feelings and all this, the connections and stuff, and I'm just wondering how much of that is genuine or connected to just him in general, and because I actually kind of thought at first that she was talking the doctor was talking about maybe the regenerations of so many doctors just, and and the whole why thing at the end, and I don't know, it was all rather fascinating. Yeah,
I think it's all to do with headcanon,
right.
maybe, because probably the only way I can sort of see that being done, probably the only reason why the doctor would do that is to make to continue the idea that Amy thinks he's the ganger, so he has to, in order to make her stop talking, because he should not know this.
Yeah, and he knows he shouldn't know this.
So
yeah.
he needs to do something quite drastic.
Okay,
And that
makes sense.
And that leads to the interrogation and you need to be put in a hole because we don't trust you. Blah blah blah. You are wearing the wrong shoes. Yeah. So narratively, maybe that, but is to interpretation, I reckon.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
And it wasn't Amy's fault. It's the wrong Amy. So get out jail free card.
Jesus Christ! It wasn't even Amy telling the doctor. Amy thinks she's real, talking to the real doctor who she thinks is fake.
Yeah, and the doctor, and the reason why they're there is the doctor needs to find out about the strong connection between gangers, because he knows that she's a ganger, and
so he already knew going there what she was. Maybe.
Ooh.
Well, because he says he needed it confirmed.
Yes.
And whether that's, I think that's him referring to her not being real.
He had an inkling, but he needs to make sure. Otherwise, he would kill Amy in a big puddle of goo.
In a big puddle of goo.
Which, not to go to the ending, but that sort of undermines the doctor saying we need to treat these gangers with respect and all that, and then he turns Amy into a big puddle of goo.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's a really interesting point.
I think because that scene was need to be
but
maybe written by Stephen Moffat, so it sort of undercuts the entire premise, but it's Doctor Who.
Yeah. I feel like you're probably right.
Yeah.
About that. Yes. So, yeah. I don't really know what else to touch on until the ending. Other than to say that the other character in this episode I really liked was Miranda Cleaves. I didn't like her at first because she was just annoying. But by the end, I thought she was great, especially the two of them, the way they were both just so alike, and they both understood that they were the same, but they were still fighting against each other. Which I found really, really interesting. I guess, one of the what is it? Is it the number one strategy of wars? Like know your enemy.
No,
The number one tactic.
Yeah.
Know thy enemy.
Keep your
and
enemies close and your friends. No, keep your
keep your friends
close.
close.
And enemies closer.
Enemies closer. Yeah, because probably my favorite part of the whole episode, I would say, maybe aside from the two doctors interacting with each other, was I liked it. I liked it when Cleves is contacting her home base for a rescue.
The code.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking well done. Like the fact that they're like, you know, she just knows that her counterpart is listening in. Like she just knows. Like, and even though she says in case they're listening, and I'm like, she knows they're listening. And so the fact that she has the foresight, the foreknowledge to just go, I'm gonna type this in. But then I suppose then she kind of undoes herself, because when it comes time for the Ganger version of her to shine and take the opportunity to be like, okay, I know what the code is, and of course she's gonna know the code because she knows, because it's her.
Yeah.
And she knows what code she knows what code she would put in.
Sure, he knows.
Yeah, but I just really loved that. I thought that was so clever and just fun, you know. Just yeah, I don't know. It's just a small insignificant thing, but it really tickled me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just really cool.
And the rarity to actually make that work.
Yeah. Yeah, they really did.
Payoff.
Set up and pay off. Yeah. And then I think the other minor character was Jimmy Wicks and his story with you know, his son and wanting to go home for the son's birthday, and how both of the real Jimmy and the Ganger Jimmy were, you know, thinking of his son like as they're both his father, and how that was used at the end for the Ganger version of the Doctor to be like, we have to stop fighting them, we have to work together here, or we're all gonna die, basically. And yeah, and then, you know, and then the real Jimmy ends up dying, and basically gives his blessing to Ganger Jimmy to be to take his place, essentially, and be the man that he is, which is the father of this adorable little boy. Yeah, so again, that kind of really connects into, like, that was one of the coolest aspects, I think, of apart from the two doctors, but just of this, you know, what is real, what is not real. Like, they're the same person, essentially, and, you know, and does that constitute the right to live, and can they both coexist? And, you know, even though he's not really his father, he is his father, because that's what he believes and what he feels in his gut, because as far as he's concerned, he is that person. And yeah, I really liked it a lot in that sense. Did you have any thoughts or feelings on Jimmy Wicks and his son, or any of the other minor characters of the episodes?
What are my views on a father saying goodbye to his son?
Yeah.
And coincidentally, we're actually recording this on my son's birthday.
Happy birthday to Isaiah. And I'm sorry for making your father feel things.
And don't say my son's name.
Sorry. Sorry.
Who? What?
Who? What?
Superfly.
Child?
His name's Superfly.
Superfly. You can edit it out. It's fine.
Hey, Fulya, edit it out when you get back. Yeah, I did like that, because it just adds to the question that they needed to have. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was very good. Cool. Shall we just talk about the ending then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or do you have something else you wanted to bring up?
I was going to undermine it. It's like, do gangers age? Do they age, or?
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
Do they melt in the sun? I don't know. But anyway, the ending.
The ending, yes.
Ganger's rights.
Yes. Ganger's rights. Yeah.
Breathe.
Yeah. Jennifer, yeah, really just wants to take down humanity, and yeah, I admire her tenacity and her thirst for vengeance, but I don't know, she went all weird in the end. Like she just kind of went. I think all the power went to her head, and her ambition got the best of her, and because there was this even in the performance, like there was just this one moment where she's like telling I think she's telling the Ganger doctor to join the revolution, and she like does this weird pointing gesture at him, and I'm just like, that felt unnecessary, but that's okay. That was kind of funny. But yeah, and then she goes all monster as we've talked about, and we get this the great reveal, an exchange between Amy and the two doctors of who she was with the whole time, and the fact that the two doctors were smart enough, and of course they were, to be like, let's actually test this out and see if we are different or if we're exactly the same, because of course the doctor would do that, and yeah, they're the exact same, to a T, that Amy can't tell them apart. Even though they had different shoes on. They managed to cleverly deceive her. And then but the one moment that kind of made me go, what the hell, was when Amy was hugging the Ganger doctor goodbye, and he says, push Amy, but only when she tells you to. Which at the time I was like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
doctor has been telling Amy to breathe.
Yes.
What does that
This
mean?
is true. What does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah. I guess, yeah, he knows, and I guess even though that this is the Ganger doctor, he's still the same as the real doctor, and therefore has figured everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he knows. But it's very, especially because in this episode we get Amy actually telling the doctor, I've been seeing this woman in an eye patch randomly appearing, and I don't know what the fuck that is. So yeah, so that was interesting. And then just, that final moment of us realizing, and the doctor being like, no, actually I brought you all here for reasons. I needed to test the theory and see if this is the real Amy or not. And then it's not the real Amy, and as to your very well point before, Mike, going against the doctor's own kind of beliefs on this, and kills the Ganger Amy. And then we end on a cliffhanger of, oh my god, Amy's actually pregnant and trapped somewhere with a woman with an eye patch constantly checking on her, and she tells her to push.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
a 3-parter.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then it was interesting too. We get there's no next week at the end of it. There's no next time on Doctor Who at the end of this one, which is really interesting. But yeah, I know, I like the ending. I get what you're saying now about how like it does feel very different to the rest of it, and it kind of undermines it in that sense. That it kind of just jars. It's a bit jarring, I suppose, in terms of the rest of.
But it's a memorable ending. It's like,
it is a very memorable ending.
It's
yes.
like the Pirates in Space thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember the ending, or do you remember the story?
Yeah. That's very true. It is a very punchy ending. But I don't know, I liked it. Because it was just kind of like, oh,
Out of left field.
Out of left field, and I like it when you think a one-off monster of the week type story is just going to be that, and then when it ties actually into the overarching narrative, I really like when shows do that. I think it's very clever. So it worked for me. I can see why it doesn't work for everyone, or it's not perfect by any stretch, but but I liked it. I liked the ending. Yeah. And I have so many questions. When the fuck how the fuck and why the fuck.
And who the father?
and who, yeah, and who's the father? Exactly. How did this ending go for you on the rewatch? I know you've kind of talked about it already a little bit, but the way everything kind of wrapped up here.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Like these two episodes are like the penultimate episode until the mid-season break. Like, so next episode is the ending of the mid-season break, so it's a big one. So we get to learn a lot, especially with the pregnancy and what's been going on.
Yeah.
And who and what and where and who's coming back.
And how and why.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to remember the first time I watched it. I think as I said before, the Matt Smith era is probably when I was sort of dropping off and not really watching it regularly. I was just banking them up and just watching them, and I think it was this season I was starting to go, okay, where's this going? Because I was sort of enjoying the sort of like the Monster of the Week, and I sort of enjoyed the sort of overarching sort of stuff. Like the first season was Bad Wolf and all the other ones, but with this one, the sort of juxtaposition between what's happening in the season and the story within the episode was very cut and dry. Like you sort of tell what was added specifically for it, and it didn't really flow as well. And I don't know, and especially in the next half of the season, I was going, what the hell is going on? I'm not sure if I like it.
Oh.
But I did like the next episode and where it was going, because it was a good, I don't know. I think the thing was I was getting tired of the big surprise. Like, oh, this means this, and this means that. And I was going, can we just have can Spider-Man just be a low-level tier superhero? He doesn't have to go to space. Like, we've done that. No more multiverse things, even though the next Spider-Man's going to be a multiverse set on Battle World, but that's Spider-Man. This is Doctor Who. I'm talking about Doctor Who here. This is my area. I like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I like it so much. I like it so much. I met a doctor this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I met Sylvester McCoy for the last time. Cool. For the first time and last time. Yeah, my favorite doctor of the classic series, maybe. Coincidentally, most of my favorite doctors are Scottish. Anyway. What was I talking about?
You were talking about you're tired of the big surprise.
Yeah, I'm tired of the big surprise.
In this, yeah.
I got all surprised out. It was like, just stick to stupid stuff. Space babies. I like space babies.
No,
not to go on a tangent, but at the meet and greet that I was at, it had Sylvester McCoy and Janet Fielding, who played Tegan, who you've seen in Power of the Doctor and all that.
Yeah.
And she says she's talking about the new series, and she says, I like space babies. I don't know why people don't like space babies. So she's a very avid, space babies is good. Don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, I'm glad she enjoyed it. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. So I tried to like it.
Are you a real fan then?
Am I a real fan? Ooh.
If Tegan likes it, do you? You're going against Tegan.
I'm going. How could I go against Tegan? Oh no.
Anyway,
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
Yeah,
To be
cool.
continued.
To be continued. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Next time we'll talk some more Who. We'll find out what the hell's going on with Amy, and I'm looking forward to that backstory and getting some answers around the main storyline of this season. Because, goddamn, shit be happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff overarching. Like you got Doctor's death, and you got the pregnancy.
Yep.
Only one will be answered.
I'll take one. One's better than none.
One's enough.
One's enough. Yeah, I don't have any other thoughts on this episode. Really, this double-parter. It was good.
Yeah.
Interesting. Imperfect, but enjoyable. Yeah.
That's what Doctor Who is.
That is what Doctor Who is in a nutshell. Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts, Mike, before we wrap up?
Fake Amy has no right to be jealous of Rory.
Oh my god, yes. Yes, I forgot to mention that.
Anyway, it's character building, I guess. It's like, oh, that's what it feels like to be on the other side when you're flirting with everyone else.
That was weird too, because I feel like they only sort of did it like a couple of times. Like the camera would just kind of cut to her watching them, or like watching them hold hands or whatever. Like they didn't really go back to it, which is fine, whatever. But yeah, you're right. She's got no legs to stand on, especially because she's a pile of goo now. But yeah.
She's a pile of goo now.
She's a pile of goo now.
And she's about to pass a pile of goo.
Yeah. From one pile of goo to another pile of goo. Cool. Shall we finish?
Sure.
Yes.
If you
done?
like. Yes.
Yeah, we can wrap it up there.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. That was our thoughts on Doctor Who Series 6, Episode 5. The Rebel Flesh, and episode 6, The Almost People.
Almost?
Nice.
Almost
people.
Well, sort of fitting fitting title. Amy was almost, and then puddle.
Almost, and then puddle. Yes.
Big puddle.
Big puddle. Cool. Well, next week, Fulya will be back from her trip.
Yay!
So we'll get to hear all her adventures and talk about the finale of Only Murders in the Building.
Yes. I was quite wrong.
Oh, did you watch it? I didn't watch it.
Oh, yeah, I need to rewatch it.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I was
lucky.
going to watch it. Yeah, that is that is lucky. I was gonna watch it, and then I just again time. Yeah.
Meteors fell from the sky. Everyone died.
Great. That's exactly what I didn't think was going to happen.
And season 5 that's been greenlit. It's all in purgatory.
Oh, sweet.
So It's like Lost. Anyway.
Great.
I haven't seen Lost, but that's all I know from it.
That's all we know. Yeah. Good times. All right. Well, that's popcorn culture, which means that is the show. I'll do a quick plug before we bounce, just because we haven't had a pod since. But yes. Wayne and I did a Fred Watch Halloween special that came out recently. It was our thoughts on the classic horror / psychological thriller, I suppose you'd call it, The Wicker Man. The original one, not the Nicolas Cage. Not the bees. Not the bees. Well done. Yes, no, the original film, and I won't spoil the entire podcast, but I really enjoyed the movie. And
that's a spoiler.
That's a spoiler then.
Obviously, it's a review. It's either you like it or don't. It's either the best movie in the world or the baddest.
Or the worst.
Or the
Or
worst.
the baddest. But yeah, it was a good film and a good time discussing it with Wayne. We had a great conversation around it. So yes.
I just remembered the question I was going to ask you about the Wicker Man, because you said in the episode, spoilers, that you've never seen Christopher Lee in anything else other than Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
Yes, that's true.
Have you not seen Gremlins 2?
Who's in Gremlins 2?
He's in Gremlins 2.
I don't remember. Okay, I've probably only seen Gremlins 2 once, maybe twice, and I clearly don't remember Christopher Lee in that movie.
He's in that.
Who does he play?
He plays the professor.
Okay.
He does die.
Okay.
He gets electrocuted.
Huh?
Yeah. You know the twins.
Yeah.
They show him Mugwai. Show him Gizmo, and he started dancing on the desk, and he's just not having it. It's like you give him he dances. I do not care. You know this Christopher Lee type. Focus. Yeah, Christopher Lee's in that because Donna's big horror buff.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Who else but Dracula?
Yes. The
Dracula.
The Dracula. Yes. Yeah, cool. All right, thanks for reminding me of that because I'd clearly forgotten.
I was going, have you not watched the new batch? Have you not?
Have I not seen the new batch?
The new batch, not the bad batch.
Not the bad batch, the new batch. Amazing. But yeah, it was a good podcast. So go check it out if you haven't already. The Wicker Man, Fred Watch. For Halloween.
With Gregory Peck.
Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck in it?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I can't remember who the actor was now, but it wasn't Gregory Peck.
No. I'm thinking of Wonderful Life.
That's Jimmy Stewart.
I'm thinking...
to Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill a Mockingbird. Anyway.
All right, it's bedtime.
It's bedtime. I haven't got school.
Show.
I haven't got school or work tomorrow, so I'll be good.
Hey.
I might edit until midnight. Get this over and done with.
Get this over and done with. Nice. All right. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 3,
and that was a podcast called Fred. Fred.
Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for the latest Fred content.
If you'd like to listen to Fred the Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head on over to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching live right now, you can give us a follow on Twitch, and you can subscribe, and also to hit the bell icon on the YouTube, and to keep you updated with all our updates and our videos. Yeah.
Yeah, please do. I've been a Kendall Richardson.
And I've been the Michael Batch himself, Michael Lister. And you just experienced a podcast called Fred. Transition.
Remember to eat beef.
Remember, Freddy lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is a ganger, and Amy is pregnant. Have you seen that video? It's
pregnant.
Yeah. Just type in "Am I pregnant?" and just spell it wrong, and you'll find the video of people looking up "Am I pregnant?" on like websites and that. It's fun.
Oh wow. Okay.
Look after yourself and your mental health.
Yes, please do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Laters Gators.
And scene. Nah.